0 hours, 0 minutes, and 0 seconds. The phone call came on a Thursday evening while I was reviewing property reports in my home office. Victoria, we've decided to celebrate our 30th anniversary at a private island resort, Mom said without preamble. Your sister is coming along with some cousins and close family friends. We thought it would be better if you stayed home this time. I set down my pen. Why is that? Well, you know how these things are. Chelsea has been working so hard on her career and she needs this break. You being there might make things awkward. 0 hours, 0 minutes, and 32 seconds. Awkward how? I asked, though I already knew the answer. Victoria, please don't make this difficult. Mom sighed. We just want a peaceful celebration without any tension. You and Chelsea have such different lifestyles and we don't want constant comparisons. Translation, Chelsea was the successful daughter with the corporate job and the doctor husband. I was the disappointment who dropped out of law school and never found her direction. Where's the island? I asked, keeping my voice neutral. It's called Serenity Island in the Caribbean. 0 hours, 1 minute, and 5 seconds. Marcus found it. You know, Chelsea's husband. He has connections everywhere. It's supposed to be incredibly exclusive. Serenity Island. My heart started beating faster. Sounds lovely, I said calmly. When are you going? Next month. 3 days all-inclusive. Marcus is handling the booking. Mom's voice brightened with enthusiasm. There are only 6 villas on the entire island. Can you imagine? Complete privacy, pristine beaches, a private chef. It's going to be perfect. I'm sure it will be, I said. Enjoy your trip, Mom. You're 0 hours, 1 minute, and 43 seconds. Not upset. He sounded suspicious. Not at all, I said honestly. Have a wonderful time. After I hung up, I sat in silence for a moment. Then I started laughing. Serenity Island. They'd booked Serenity Island, the private island I purchased 2 years ago for $12 million. I'd bought Serenity Island as an investment property. 15 acres of pristine Caribbean paradise with 6 luxury villas, a main house, and infrastructure that was surprisingly sound despite the previous owner's neglect. I'd spent another 3 million 0 hours, 2 minutes, and 17 seconds renovating it, turning it into an ultra-exclusive resort that catered to celebrities, executives, and anyone willing to pay $50,000 a week for absolute privacy. My family had no idea I owned it. They had no idea I owned anything. To them, I was still the daughter who'd failed at law school and spent her days doing something vague with computers. They didn't know that I'd left law school to build a property technology company that I'd sold for $47 million 3 years ago. They didn't know I'd used that money to build a luxury 0 hours, 2 minutes, and 49 seconds real estate portfolio worth over $80 million. They didn't know because they'd never asked. I called my island manager, James, the next morning. I need to check something, I said. Do we have a booking for next month under the name Matthews or Williams? I heard typing. Yes, we do. Chelsea and Marcus Williams along with the Matthews family party. 15 guests total, 3 days. All 6 villas. They booked through a luxury travel agency. What's the total cost? $150,000 for the 3 days, including the charter flights, private chef, 0 hours, 3 minutes, and 24 seconds activities, everything. I smiled. Perfect. Don't change anything. Process the booking normally. Ms. Matthews, is everything all right? James had been with me since I'd bought the island. He knew my family's situation. Everything is perfect, I said. I'll be arriving 2 days before them. I want to be there when they check in. This should be interesting, James said. I could hear the smile in his voice. The month passed quickly. I watched the family group chat, the one I'd been removed from 6 months ago, through screenshots my 0 hours, 3 minutes, and 58 seconds cousin Lisa sent me. Lisa was the only family member who still talked to me regularly, and she was furious about my exclusion from the trip. This is ridiculous, she texted. You're being excluded from your own parents' anniversary. It's fine. I replied. Trust me. How is it fine? You'll see. I said, are you going on the trip? Yeah, Mom guilt-tripped me into it. I tried to say no, but you know how it is. Film everything. I said. I want to see their faces. Their faces when what? You'll see. I repeated. I arrived at 0 hours for minutes and 35 seconds Serenity Island on a Tuesday afternoon. The sun was brilliant. The water impossibly blue, the sand white as sugar. My island, my paradise, the place I'd poured my heart and money into creating. James met me at the dock. Everything is ready, Ms. Matthews. The villas are prepared. The chef has finalized the menus, and the staff is briefed on the special situation. Situation is a good word for it, I said. How did they handle the booking? Any issues? The credit card was declined twice, James said carefully. Eventually, 0 hours 5 minutes and 10 seconds, Mr. Williams put it on a different card. The travel agency mentioned he seemed stressed about the cost. Interesting, I said. So Marcus is paying for this entire trip. According to the booking notes. Yes, I believe he wanted to impress his in-laws. I nodded slowly. Marcus had always been about appearances. The right job, the right house, the right image. Paying for an exclusive island vacation would definitely fit his need to look successful. What he didn't know was that he'd maxed out his credit cards to rent 0 hours 5 minutes and 41 seconds my island. My family's charter flight arrived Thursday at 2 p.m. I watched from the main house as the boat brought them from the airstrip on the neighboring island. 15 people piled out, laughing and excited, pulling designer luggage and already taking selfies. Mom and Dad were first off the boat, both looking younger than their 60 years in expensive resort wear. Chelsea followed, perfectly coiffed, even after hours of travel. Her husband Marcus beside her looking slightly seasick but trying to hide it. My Aunt Corinne, Uncle Tom, 0 hours 6 minutes and 14 seconds cousin Lisa, and several family friends I recognized filled out the rest of the party. James greeted them at the dock, immaculate in his white linen suit. Welcome to Serenity Island. I'm James, your personal concierge for the next 3 days. We hope you'll find everything beyond your expectations. This is incredible. Chelsea gushed, already recording video on her phone. Marcus, you outdid yourself. Marcus smiled, but I noticed him swallow hard. The man who'd spent $150,000 he probably didn't have. Before we show 0 hours 6 minutes and 47 seconds you to your villas, James continued, the island owner would like to personally welcome you. She's visiting this week and always likes to greet special guests. The owner is here. Mom looked thrilled. How wonderful. Marcus, did you arrange this? Marcus looked confused. I know. I didn't know the owner would be here. She doesn't usually meet guests, James said smoothly. But this is a special occasion. Please follow me to the main house. I watched from the window as James led them up the path. They were all talking at once, admiring 0 hours 7 minutes and 21 seconds the landscaping, the architecture, the views. None of them had any idea what was about to happen. James led them to the main terrace where I was waiting. I dressed carefully. White linen pants, a simple silk top, my hair pulled back, elegant but not showy. I wanted them to focus on who I was, not what I was wearing. Ladies and gentlemen, James announced, may I present the owner of Serenity Island, Miss Victoria Matthews? I turned from the ocean view and smiled at my family. The recognition happened in stages. Lisa saw me first 0 hours 7 minutes and 54 seconds. Her eyes went wide and she started to smile. Then Mom, whose expression shifted from confusion to shock to something like horror. Dad just froze. Chelsea's phone dropped from her hand, clattering on the terrace tiles. Hello, everyone, I said warmly. Welcome to my island. I hope you'll enjoy your stay. The silence was absolute. Even the tropical birds seemed to have stopped singing. Marcus found his voice first. Your island. This is you own this. I purchased it 2 years ago. I confirmed. 15 acres, 6 villas, Completely 0 hours 8 minutes and 29 seconds private. I saw the booking come through last month and thought it would be nice to be here to personally welcome you for Mom and Dad's anniversary. Mom's face had gone from pale to bright red. You own this island, this entire island. Every grain of sand, I said pleasantly. James manages the day-to-day operations, but yes, it's mine. Chelsea was staring at me like I'd grown a second head. But you don't have this kind of money. You dropped out of law school. You work with computers or something. I built a 0 hours 9 minutes and 0 seconds property technology company. I corrected. Sold it 3 years ago for $47 million. Used the proceeds to invest in luxury real estate. Serenity Island was one of my first acquisitions. Dad sat down heavily in one of the terrace chairs. $47 million. That was the sale price. I said, my current net worth is around $83 million depending on market fluctuations. The island alone has appreciated significantly since I bought it. And Karen started laughing, slightly hysterical. We've been feeling sorry for you for years. We thought you 0 hours 9 minutes and 38 seconds were struggling. I know, I said. I heard all the whispered conversations, the poor Victoria comments, the concern about my lack of direction. Why didn't you tell us? Mom's voice was barely a whisper. I tried to. I said quietly. 3 years ago when I sold my company, I called to share the news. Dad, you said that's nice and hung up because you were watching a game. Chelsea, you told me that corporate sales weren't real success and maybe I should consider going back to school. Chelsea's face flushed. I don't remember saying that. I 0 hours 10 minutes and 13 seconds do, I said. I remember very clearly, just like I remember last Christmas when you introduced me to your colleagues as your sister who never quite figured out what to do with her life. Victoria, that's not I didn't mean. You did mean it. I interrupted gently. You all did. You decided I was a failure and nothing I said would change your minds. So I stopped.